Hello, this is Victor Cuevas with Victor for Advice, and today I want to talk to you about the best way to save for retirement. After learning about this, you probably want to ditch your old 401k, IRA, or other qualified plan you may have. Now, when saving for retirement, most people use a 401k, an IRA, or other similar qualified plan. Those of you who are self-employed, it may be a SEP IRA or a KIO or something like that, solo 401k. Those plans aren't that good, folks, and haven't worked well long term over the past 30 years. Why not? Well, they are volatile, risky, no guarantees, and you have no control over the fees. And the accumulation long term hasn't been that good. Yeah, here's the way you could be saving. The best way to save for retirement. With no volatility, no risk, guaranteed not to lose money due to market performance, and locked in cost. I call it gain with no pain. So, if you had the opportunity to average double-digit annual returns on your retirement savings without any risk, wouldn't you like to know more? Let me give you an example of how it can work for you. Let's look at the game of Blackjack. Now, most of you know how to play it. You could play it at home or go to one of the different casinos. Not too long ago, I went to a business meeting of financial advisors over here in Las Vegas, and I didn't do any gambling, but I have in the past, and I'm one of these conservative guys that if I go to sit at the blackjack table, I'll probably sit at the $5 table, walk in with about $30, and if I burn through it, fine. I don't care about losing $30, but I may end up winning some money. So how does the game work? Well, you know how it works. The dealer gives you a couple of cards, one up, one down. You look at the down card and you see how close you are to 21, and you ask for more cards or not, and you hope that you beat the dealer. So let's go through a couple of hands. So you sit down, you put your bet on the table. You have a pile of chips over here to the side, and the dealer gives you two cards, and you have a 10 facing up and facing down. You look there and you go, yeah, I have an 8. I've got 18. I'm gonna just stay right there because I've got a chance of winning. And lo and behold, you do win, and the dealer gives you your winnings, right? So then you play another hand and you get those two cards, and you have a 10, and you look under there and there's a 4, and you go, yes, 14, that's not going to win me anything. You ask for another card and you get a 6, and now you're sitting at 20. You go, well, I got a great hand, and you stay right there, and lo and behold, you win again, and more money comes your way, and you're feeling pretty good. So now you go for the third hand, and you say, well, I'm going to, bet $10 this time. I'm going to get brave. You bet, $10, and you get 19. And again, you're saying, I can't believe I got 19 twice. But the dealer gets 21, and you lose that hand. And so you sit back, oh, well, I've won 2, I've lost 1. I'm doing pretty good so far. But then you notice that the dealer didn't take your money. In fact, the dealer pushed the money you laid down as a bet, the dealer pushed it back to you. You sit up and you go, wait a minute, dealer, I lost a hand. Why didn't you take my money? And the dealer says, well, look, we have different rules at this particular table. The way we play it here is that you bet your money, and if you win, you receive winnings. But if you lose, you just keep your money. You don't receive anything, but you don't lose anything. You go, wait a minute. I got to get this right in my mind because it just doesn't make sense. I've never seen the game played this way. So you're saying I bet money if I win, you're going to give me my winnings. But if I lose, I keep all the money I've won so far. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Excuse me, Mr. Dealer. I'll be right back. I'm going to go buy more chips. You see how that works? In other words, you're saving for retirement. Your money can grow if the market does well with this strategy that I'm going to explain to you. But if the market tanks, you just stay where you're at and you keep all the money you've made the previous years. You can't ever lose a dime because of market performance. You can't go back. You can only go up or stay where you're at. Let me give you another quick example. Let's suppose you went to the bank and the bank says, look, we got a new account, a new savings account. Every year we'll give you 7 to 12% interest. Just keep your money here in the bank with us. And we'll pay you 7 to 12% every year. Who would ever put their money in the market? Unless you just wanted to play the market and see what you could do with it. But the bulk of your retirement money would be in the bank. See, my father, in the old days, in the 80s, had all his money in the bank. In those days, CDs were paying 10 to 15% a year. He made a killing. When he passed on a few years ago, he had, I won't tell you how much money, but it was like, woo! Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it all was from CDs back in the day, in the 80s and early 90s. So, what is this strategy that I'm talking about? Well, let's go into it now. Let's look at an example of a 50-year-old who has $150,000 in a old 401k or an IRA or some other kind of qualified plan. And this 50-year-old has 18 years before he wants to start drawing income. So he's going to accumulate for 18 years and then draw income. And let's suppose he's able to earn 7% annual return on his money. And he's not putting any more money into it. He's got a retirement plan at work. He's putting money in over there. But $150,000 is a lot of money, and he wants it to grow nicely over the next 18 years so it can add to what he's doing currently. So we're looking at the only way we can show this is compounding annually or quarterly, whatever you want to do it, but compounding annually. Now we know that interest does not compound on money in the market. There is no compounding of interest in the market. It just goes up and down and up and down. The value increases or decreases over time. So you never get to keep your earnings from last year because it could go down. I mean, your account could go down 40% in 1 year, and it might take you 3 years to get back to where you were before. So you don't earn anything every year. You just go up in value. But the only way we can show this, and the only way any advisor can show you, is saying, look, hey, the last 10 years, 20 years, this mutual fund or this investment is averaged this amount every year, and they compound it, and that's the only way you can show. But that's not what actually happens. That's not the real value. But that's the only way we can illustrate it. So we're saying 7% compounding annually. Now, is 7% a good return? I'm being generous, folks. This is without fees. Take another 2%, 1.5% to 2% a year for fees. If you go down the street to your fee-only advisor, he's going to ding you 1.5%, plus he's going to give it to a third-party certified financial analyst. They'll ding you another 1% or more. Who knows? Because you can't know from one year to another what the fees are going to be on that managed account. So you're looking at 2.5% plus fees. So they have to really earn great money because of the fees. So anyway, am I being accurate here with the 7%? Well, if I go over here and I look at average annual returns of the S&P 500 last 20 years, because the 21st century has not been like the previous century for the stock market. Things have changed completely. But anyway, you see here that in the last 20 years, the S&P has done 5.9% and the Dow Jones has done 7%. This does not include fees. That doesn't include fees, folks. Well, we can go back here and we can see another place says from 2001 to 2020, we've got 6.92 and 5.99. 5.599. Still not the 7%. And again, we're not talking about fees. And they're all about this way right here. So I am being generous here at 7% with no fees. What do you end up with? $506,990 at the end of 18 years. And you're thinking, hey, pretty good. That's $500,000. Well, bear in mind that Uncle Sam owns a third of this because he's never paid taxes on it because it's not tax-free money. So let's see if we go here to the strategy I want you to learn about today. This is called indexing. And the interest, not the value up and down, but interest paid to your account is based on a stock market index. This particular program, the strategy, has several stock market indexes. I'm showing one here that has got a great track record. But here's the thing. The way this program works is that if you wait 2 years before you get interest, instead of getting interest added to your account every year, if you wait every 2 years to get your interest, this company will pay you 210% of what that index did for you. What that index returned over a 2-year period, you get 210%. Well, let's see how that works. Oh, by the way, you see right here, there's a 3% fee every 2 years, which is basically 1.5% every year. A reasonable fee when compared to other fees out there. And what do you get for this fee? A guaranteed never to lose a dime of your money because of what happens in the market. And you get a locked-in fee. Okay? So your money is not ever in the market. So it is never at risk. Remember, gain with no pain. Your money is never in the market. However, the interest that's credited to your account is based on what this particular stock market index does. Okay? So here we have the index change. You put your money in there. 150,000, you wait 2 years. So suppose you open this account September 1st, 2020, and 2022, or let's say this is 2021, and 2023, September 1st, you would get your interest credited. So we look over here, and this is based on going back 20 years, and this back testing, just like we do any other investment. If you have a 401k you're looking at to put your money, or any other investment, you want to look at this track record. If it has a lousy track record, you don't want to use it. Same thing here. So we see this 2 years going back to this index returned 22.31%. That's 11% a year. Pretty good money. Pretty good money. But guess what? Because you waited 2 years and you paid a 3% fee for that 2-year period, you get 210%. So now what you really get added to your account is 46.86%. Now we're looking at 24% a year for the last 2 years. Thank you very much for waiting. You've been rewarded. That money is added to your account and it's locked in. So you see here, 150,000. Now you just went over a 2-year period. You went from 150 to 215,792 locked in You can't ever lose this $215,000. Can't lose it. You can't lose it. Okay, we go 2 more years. 1, 2. Got 13.6%, a little over 6% a year. Not bad about what the S&P did. But guess what? You waited 2 years, you get 210%, 28.7. That's 14% a year. Double digits again. Now you went from 215 to 271. Locked in. You can't lose it. It's yours. You get to keep it. Another 2 years, 6.7. That's a little over 3% a year, but guess what? 14.44. You get 210%, 210% of the return. Guess what? Little over 7% a year. Still looking good. You went to 302. 2 more years. You're at 9%, and over 4% for the year, 4.5 or so. But guess what? 210% gives you 19.9, almost 10%. Now you're at 353. You keep going. When he's 18 years later, he gets ready to retire. He's sitting on $1.1 million. $1.1 million or 506. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? No brainer for me. Well, Victor, I don't know. I like the 210%, but do I want to wait 2 years to get my money? Well, you can get it. You can get interest credit every single year. Instead of 210%, you'll get 150% return on your money. So here you're getting it every year. Here's what the index did. Here's what you actually get credited to your account. 17, 14, 1, 18, 2, 8, 13, 15, so forth, so on. You're going down the line. You hit year 18, 651,000. 651. 506. Still beat the pants off of leaving your money in the market. And remember, this is getting 7% a year. We know in the next 20 years, you're going to have some negative years where your account is going to go down and it's going to take a year or 2 or 3 to come back out of the hole. So again, this is being generous. All right? Now, you might say, well, wow. I went from 1.1 mil to 651. Look, can't make up your mind. Why don't you mix the two? A 2-year and a 1-year strategy. And you come over here, and when you mix the 2-year and the 2-year and the 1 year, guess what? When you get to year 18, you're at 919,000. Still pretty. It's still fantastic return. Either way you look at it, it beats the pants off of leaving your money in the market. My question to you is, if there are strategies out there and programs out there using indexing the way I've explained that can do that for you, why would you leave the majority of your money that you need to safeguard and grow for your future? Why would you leave it in the market? That is literally like going to the gambling tables and saying, hey, I want to make as much money as I can. Let's go for it. And watching it disappear. Now, I'm not saying if you put your money in the market 20 years later, you don't have anything to show for it. You're going to have something to show for it. But you're not going to touch this at all. Not even close. Not even close. And here's what can happen. Let's suppose this person here is in the market and it gets to year 17 and is sitting at close to 506. because that was what, subtract 1 year, say he's 400 something thousand. And in year 18, the market goes down 40%, just as he's ready to retire. Now he's sitting on 300,000, 325. Now what is the retirement going to look like? Doesn't happen here, folks, because remember, I want you to remember, you have to get this. Every time interest is credited, 150 to 215, that's a $65,000 jump. It's locked in. You can't lose it. So if you're in year 17 and it's $1 million you're sitting here, you can't lose it. It can't go back. So what happens is when you start drawing income in retirement, you don't have to be this guy here. Let's suppose he did retire with $506,000. He says, "Great, I'm gonna draw $30,000 this year." He draws $30,000 that year, and that's the year that the market goes down 40% on. Is he gonna draw $30,000 next year? Now that his account has gone down, he's thrown $30,000 out. The account went down 40%, and his advisor took out another 2.5% total with everything. No, you go over here. You draw money from this account. You draw money from this $1.1 million account. And 2 years later, you're going to make some more money in it. Or if you don't make, it's one of those rare times when you go 2 years and don't make interest, you didn't lose anything. You didn't lose anything. See, folks? To me, no brainer. What's next, Victor? What's next? Okay, you're interested. And why wouldn't you be? Now what? Well, I'd like for you to either call me, text me, you can message me, you can set an appointment on my calendar, because I'll leave a link here. Or if you're on a web page with a opt-in button, requesting more information or requesting to move forward, you just click on that. And let's get together and at least get more information about this. You owe it to yourself in today's world of uncertainty to save for retirement this way and get the information. And let's run a couple of illustrations and see how it can work for you. And then you can make a good decision on whether you want to move your old 401k IRA into this strategy, into just another IRA. No loss of money, no penalties, no anything like that. It's just a straight transfer, one IRA to another. Okay, Victor Cuevas, Victor for Advice. Hope to be talking to you soon, and God bless.